What's up guys, Duarte here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to take a look at node number 4, probably the hardest node in Dark Dimension 3, and we are going to one-shot it because that's what I do. So once again I'm using my recommended Dark Dimension 4 characters, especially my global team where I use Stature, Emma Frost, Black Widow and Ghost. And for this specific node we replace the Captain America with Hela because we need Hela's help. And this is free for all on Dark Dimension 3. This is going to be available on Dark Dimension 4 as well for the free for all nodes. And yeah, I think this is one of the hardest nodes ever. And many people, as soon as they start this node, they get wrecked right away. So doing this one shot is very hard. Now all my characters are still at gear tier 14. They don't have any new of the items. They are still at level 75. None of these characters are upgraded. They are still to the maximum you can take to Dark Dimension 3, and we are going to beat them. So as you can see, I use the same strategy I use on node number 2. We use the blind from Emma Frost, and then we use Hela's ultimate to spread it around. Then we extend it with Ghost. We apply the slow with Emma Frost. The problem here is that we have insane amount of characters that are extremely dangerous. We have Magneto, we have Strife, we have Pyro, we have Killmonger, we have Mordo, we have Merc Lieutenant giving offense up and speed up to everyone. We have Shuri, we have the assists from Kingpin that are not affected by the passive of Ghost. And we have Namor with his ultimate that is completely unavoidable. So there are many situations here that are extremely dangerous. We have Aldo Stance from Strife and giving energy to himself, to the other characters of Strife that we have around. And yeah, this is very hard node. It took me a few tries to get this right, but it's done. It's possible if you have the right team, and this is the right team. I have seen a few content creators talking about this team and giving credit to other people. It's just lame that they don't like me, so they avoid talking about me or use my ideas and give the credit to someone else. But you can see right now in action, one-shotting one of the hardest nodes available in Dark Dimension. I'm not sure if it's possible to one-shot it with other teams. Once again, I remind you that the leaderboards that you see on Dark Dimension, they don't have the real numbers. I talk with people there, they say that they manipulate the damage because they have characters like Mordo and Merc Lieutenant and Shuri and so on that heal other characters. So because of that, you can do more damage than it's allowed to record on that table. So yeah, based on all that, I'm not sure if I was the first person to one-shot this node. I have searched for videos, I have not seen them. If you have videos of someone one-shotting this node, let me know, send me for my email or my Discord, or even on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. I don't use it that often. I prefer Parler, but you can find me on Twitter and send me the link to the video so I can watch it as well to compare the strategies, what I did better and what other people did as well. But I really think that I was the first person to beat all these extremely hard nodes, and we'll continue throughout this journey until we reach Dark Dimension 4. Some people say, where is the content for Dark Dimension? I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to spend leveling up and gearing up my characters. If you want to donate, the link is below on the description, but don't ask me for that because I don't have the money to gear up my characters. I'm not a millionaire or billionaire or whatever, so I really don't have the money. So if you want to see my content on Dark Dimension 4, where I will be using these teams that I recommend and that I honestly think they are the best teams, and that you could gear them up right now if you want. If you want to do that, then you can find those links in the description. Otherwise, you'll have to wait a little bit longer until we get those videos. I'm refreshing cores, I'm doing as much as I can to get geared, but spending money, it's something that it's not available for me right now. But as you can see, now we have two strifes at the same time. We have Hawkeye that applies blind, slow, and turn rewind, another annoying character. But we are going to use the same strategy, spread, like butter on the bread. Spread those blinds with the Hela is just amazing. And even that we have two Namors, we can stun one of them. We have a Strife with a Taunt now. I like to do the special of Ghost on Strife and other tanks, so they get that defense down, and then we can more easily remove the Taunt with Emma Frost. That's always a good way to deal with it. And Namor is annoying, but he's not super annoying, so other characters you want to focus on first is going to be definitely Hawkeye. And Pyro is very annoying as well, but if he's blind, he's fine. With Hawkeye, that's not going to work because he's immune to blind, and most of his attacks are unavoidable, so you need to focus on the characters that matter. And on this specific wave, which is the second wave or the third wave, Hawkeye is the guy you need to focus on. And like always, use Greg as often as you can. I tried this months ago to come here with Hela and Minerva and so on. That was almost possible on node number 3, but on this node, on node number 4, the damage up front was so high that it was impossible to survive. But now we were able to, because of Ghost and because of Emma Frost and so on. It gives us a little bit more time. You still need that early Greg to die, otherwise it's going to be problematic. And as you can see, we are doing just fine. These minions from Kingpin are just fine. I usually like to keep Kingpin around to stack up the negative effects on him and use him as the token to spread them around. The problem is that the assists that Kingpin does to some characters, they can be very problematic. But this is why we have this team. We have this huge advantage on speed and turn rewind, and also speed up and slow down on the enemies. That thanks to it, it allows us to have so many turns before anyone can get an assist. And even so, sometimes you can see the icon, so you can know exactly which character to stun or not. But yeah, with all these characters stunned, with all the slows and all the speed up and so on, we are doing just fine. It's still very problematic, and whenever you have two strifes at the same time, that's dangerous, very, very dangerous, because they can give energy to each other, and you can have two ultimates back to back. But as you can see, once again, we use the shield securities to spread everything around. But as you can see from Magneto, it didn't spread the blind to all of them. He had 5 negative effects, it only spreads 4, and it's random. Sometimes it applies blind, other times it doesn't. So specifically for Magneto, it didn't work out. Now Magneto is a character that you want to stun as often as possible, because if you do a critical hit, he's going to give speed up to Pyro and to himself. And you really don't want either Pyro or Magneto with speed up. Otherwise they will do ultimates, they will do those disrupts from the special. That's very problematic, especially when you have these characters that rely a lot on dodge, and you need Black Widow with her stealth and so on. So yeah, that's very problematic. It's things that you have to consider all the time, and you want to make sure that you are in that specific situation where you can take advantage. So as you can see right here, Magneto with the assist, and he completely destroyed the Greg. If it was some other character, it would be very problematic, of course, but once again, that's why you want to have as many characters as possible with blind, especially with Kingpin, because once again, the assists are not affected by the offense down unless you apply offense down to them, which is the case for Magneto. So he's not blinded, but he has the offense down, and that was thanks to Hela. And yeah, so now we just have to focus on the characters that matter on this specific wave. Let's see, we have two Strifes, we have two Namors, we have one Killmonger. Killmonger can be extremely problematic in case you can't keep him blind. And one good thing about Magneto is that we were able to apply the Disrupt. So even if we are doing critical hits, most of the speed up is not going to be affected unless we get a new pyro that doesn't have Disrupt or something like that. That's why now I'm rushing to focus on Magneto, because I don't want to use the stun on him. I prefer just to get him over and get to the next wave, so we can spread those negative effects around. We have a good stack of buffs on Killmonger, so he can be our next token to spread them around. Token, it's not really token, it's not obelisk. There is a specific word like a pillar, lighthouse, I don't know. But as you saw, we spread everything around once again. We have the new pyro, but offense down and blind to him, that keeps him under control, and that's fine. Now we have to take care of these minions. They are very annoying actually, because they have the taunt, and you need to get rid of them right away. And then with Stature, some people say they don't like Stature because she's bio or whatever. You really don't look at the value. Like, we have multiple characters stunned, we have multiple characters blind for many turns, and that only happens because of Stature. It's not Ghost alone. It's Ghost, Stature, Emma Frost, Black Widow and Captain America. Without this specific team, you'll not be able to do this type of gameplay. This is probably some of the best gameplay that you'll ever see, because it was designed exactly to happen like this. And that's why for this specific node I use Hela, but on the next nodes, node number 6, 5, 6, 7, we will not have Hela, and we will still be able to one-shot them easily with this team. So yeah, it's not even if you are spending more gear, bio gear or whatever. First, you don't need all symbiotes. You are not going to need all of them, because the Dark Dimension 3 that we used 3 symbiotes is very different from Dark Dimension 4 where we have Isolate, and other characters are into consideration, like Vulture. Vulture before was trash, but Vulture with Isolate and the symbiotes with Isolate will be way better. We'll have that speed difference. Vulture does turn rewind and applies slow early on. So that's something that we have to take into consideration. Taking all symbiotes is not very productive, and for sure we can come up with teams that will have a better strategy than just using 5 symbiotes. If you want to take 5 symbiotes, if you have the money to buy all those uniques and so on, go ahead, do that. I will definitely take the other route and do my best. Like always, I was doing my best on everything I can. And you can see the results right here. We are able to one-shot some of the hardest nodes in Dark Dimension 3, once again with the same gear that is available for everyone for Dark Dimension 3, with the limitations that we have. ISO 8, level 75, gear T 14, and that's it. But as you can see, the ultimate from Strife, it does so much damage, and on top of that you have the ability block. So that's something you have to consider, is to have everyone with ISO 8 at level 4. So we have more HP, so we have more stats. You'll not have the full 10% extra stats, but you at least will have 8%, which is pretty decent. And here Magneto changed the positioning of the characters. It made a little bit more dangerous, but not too much. And yeah, so we just have to continue our journey. And I'm very excited about this team. I think this team is going to work very, very well on Dark Dimension 4. We already see Fate's Fury is using a similar team. Instead of Emma Frost, is using Mr. Sinister. I don't understand exactly why. Of course, Mr. Sinister is always a good option, but the speed advantage that you have from Emma Frost, and the blind and the slow, and the fact that you can remove negative effects, is so much better than Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is okay, there are some interesting characters that you can clone, but not that many, and I honestly prefer the speed advantage that you have because it results in situations like this. Look how many blinds Strife has. Look how many blinds. The two Strifes, you have this one with 4 or 5 blinds, and you have the other one with the same situation. 5 blinds, 5 slows, 5 disrupts, 5 or 4 heal blocks, defense down and offense down. This is the type of situation that you can achieve when you have third meter advantage and when you have characters that apply negative effects to this degree. You could use similar with Scientist Supreme, but Scientist Supreme applies negative effects to your team as well, and if you don't have a character that can remove them, Emma Frost can do that, but the speed difference between Emma Frost and Scientist Supreme doesn't work out too well. Emma Frost, because she's faster than Scientist Supreme, you are not able to flip him on the right moment, and the difference in turn that you have between Emma Frost and Scientist Supreme puts your team too much at risk. That's why it's not viable to go on that route, even that Scientist Supreme is a very good character for this type of strategy. So now we have a new Mordo. Mordo is very dangerous. Most of our healing is coming from ISO 8, so if you get heal block, it's going to be very problematic. And that's once again based on the third meter or the speed advantage that we have. We are able to clear the heal block a little bit faster than Mordo can have a turn, but it's still a very risky situation that you want to avoid as much as possible. But as you can see now, he has disrupt, he has slow, he doesn't have defense offense down yet, but he has defense down, and we are going to use that in order to do as much damage to him as possible. And hopefully we'll be able to stun him, and then he will no longer be a problem. And that's why I didn't use Ghost's ultimate now, because I wanted to stun him first. So now he's stunned. We still have that Hawkeye in the back, which is going to do his ultimate. Once again, that's something that you should consider, is to count the turns of the enemies. I know there are like 6 or 7 of them at the same time, but you can do it. So here we have Ghost, and I didn't extend the stun because I thought I'm going to kill him before he does anything. Because of all the disrupts, the ultimate from Kingpin was completely useless. And we still have to extend the blind on Killmonger, but instead I just turn rewind him to last a little bit longer so we can get the next wave. Then he spread everything, and then we can extend once again everything. So now I'm focusing on Hawkeye, so I extended the blinds, I extended everything. That was kind of a waste, it was a little bit too early, I probably got a little bit greedy. But we have this Namor, he has slow, so that's fine. We are going to spread everything around because we were ready. That's something I was probably thinking about, is whenever you have the next wave, you must have the ultimate ready from Hela. So whenever the next wave drops, right after, you can spread everything around, and that's why I changed some of the targets. And yeah, once again, we have this situation that we are completely protected. We have disrupts, we have slows, we have blinds, we have stuns on the characters that matter. Right now, we have a stun on Namor because of his ultimate, which is unavoidable. And the next character that we want to stun is that Hawkeye over there, but I think I'm gonna be able to kill him before he's able to do his ability, but we'll see. So he just did his basic. Okay, that's nice. So I can keep focusing on Namor, and once again that blind coming very clutch because Strife missed everything. Once again, that ability block is very problematic. If you can avoid it, you definitely should. And yeah, so I still don't have defense down on Namor. That's why I sometimes use a lot of the special of Ghost. Even that, usually you want to save as much energy as possible, so you can use the ultimate as often as possible. But because we have such a difference in turn meter, speed up and slow and turn rewinds and so on, it's not a huge deal. So we are getting ready for the last two waves. We have this one, and then we'll have another one with the last 10 characters. So I have the ultimate ready from Hela. That's the thing I was looking for. So I can focusing on those two characters that we have left. We have Killmonger and we have Namor, and then we can use Strife or Pyro to spread everything around. And we also have Shield Security as a decent amount of health, and we'll be able to do that just fine. So Namor taking a while, is beefy AF on Dark Dimension. I use the ultimate there. It's very dangerous. You never want to use the ultimate when you have a new wave dropping, because there might be some very important character that you need to stun, and then you will not be able to extend it. So now we have two Pyros at the same time and one Magneto. This is brutal. If we will not be able to stun him and spread the disrupt around, it will be very problematic, because all these Pyros and Magnetos, they would have speed up all the time. And you know, these guys with speed up, they are very, very dangerous. But once again, the strategy working perfectly. Look at this gameplay. It's just... I'm so proud of myself. Oh my god. If only my father would give me any value. Yeah, so now everything extended. The stun from Magneto extended. Exactly as I was saying. And yeah, this team is just amazing. That's all we have to say about it. And it's just unfortunate that some other content creators don't appreciate and don't give me the value that I think I deserve, because yeah, you see, you saw my video with recommendations 3 weeks ago, and now you see the gameplay in action. You guys were not happy with Dark Dimension 2, and I can understand that, but that's why we have Dark Dimension 3 with all the limitations that we have. For Dark Dimension 3, there is no character at level 76 or anywhere near, and also with no gear tier 15 at all equipped. So now we have the last 8 characters. Once again, 3 very problematic characters. We have Strife, we have double Strife actually, we have Hawkeye, and we have Namor. So we started by stunning Namor. Now we are going to slow Hawkeye as much as possible. He's going to be the next stun. We spread all those blinds and disrupts on those Strifes, so they can't taunt, and they can't also do their ultimate. And once again, I rush for Merc Lieutenant. He does a lot of healing on Dark Dimension, so that's another annoying thing. I use the basic from Ghost to turn rewind Namor to have him a little bit longer on stun. And since I didn't have the stun ready, I decided to focus on Hawkeye and just get rid of him. Now I have the stun available, but I decided not to use it. It's fine at the point we are in the game right now. Hawkeye is almost dead. Namor has 2 turn stun at least, so we have an extra stun just in case. But as you can see, with all these blinds that we have on the field, it's not going to be necessary. And yeah, we'll probably be able to finish him right away. And even if he gets out of the stun, we'll have another one right after. So right now we are just working on the speed up and slow down and applying that defense down with special. It's only 60% chance, so sometimes you are not able to apply the defense down, but it's definitely very, very useful, the special from Ghost. It doesn't require any DD4, so that's something very good. Kingpin there with his ultimate doing 0 because all of them have disrupt. And yeah, in this mode it's the 4 debuffs that you want: slow, disrupt, blind, and you can also have offense down, but if you have heal block it's even better. The offense down and the blind, of course, they one nullifies the value of the other, so it's like whatever. It's only about the attacks that are like unavoidable or things like that. So against characters like Hawkeye and so on, it's fine, but otherwise it doesn't have much value. So here I'm not even going to refresh the stun. He's almost dead, and we are almost done here. We are on the cooldown management mode. So now I'm just using basics and specials and things with low cooldown just to make sure we are done with these guys. But as you can see, even without using any buffs or stuff like that, because they have so much slow and so much turn rewind, they don't even have their buffs. So finally Namor out of the stun. Now I get rid of him with the statures basic. And yeah, so now hopefully Strife will die with the bleeds. If not, he will die eventually. You can always use the cooldowns from Greg because they will end up not going for the other node anyway, so there is no point. And yeah, so now I use the special with Black Widow, completely unnecessary. All those bleeds, disrupt, slow, blind, and so on. There is nothing that Kingpin can do, but because we have so much turn advantage, I can use the special and still get ready. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, node number 4, probably one of the hardest nodes on Dark Dimension 3. One-shotted, and that's how you do it. Once again, the values that you have on the leaderboard, they are not one-shots, they are manipulated to give the maximum damage because of all the healing that the different characters can do throughout the node. And yeah, I had big nightmares of doing this node back in the day. It took me many tries. You guys have my playlist on my first run on Dark Dimension, and you can compare it with it now. So I just cleared 4 nodes in 4 hours. Now it takes a lot more time because I have not played this for a while. But yeah, so that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Once again, one-shot node number 3 on node number 4 on Dark Dimension 3. And if you enjoy it and you find the video entertaining, share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you like the video, you know what to do. Smash it like a boss. Smash that like button like a boss. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. Always with the top-notch gameplay as you just saw. And yeah, I will see you guys later.